You ever feel like you're doing too much in a relationship? Like you're the one always reaching out, planning the dates, checking in, and she's slowly becoming less and less responsive? It starts off strong, she's all over you. Then little by little, you're the only one keeping things going. That shift feels off, doesn't it? As men, we're told to be leaders, to take initiative, to pursue, but no one teaches us when to stop. No one tells you how to pull back the right way without ruining everything you've built. Most guys either keep pushing harder until they burn out, or they ghost completely and hope she magically comes running back. Neither one works. What actually works is balance. And that comes from knowing how to pull back in a calm, confident, and intentional way. Not out of fear, not to punish her, but because you value your peace and presence. When you do it right, you don't lose her. In fact, you often regain her attention and attraction. This isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your energy and shifting the dynamic back to a place where you feel respected, desired, and in control of yourself again. And here's the thing. Women notice when a man pulls back the right way. It changes everything. So if you're in a place where you're starting to feel like you're giving too much and not getting it back, this guide is for you. Let's talk about exactly how to pull back from a woman without losing her. 1. Understand why you're pulling back in the first place. Before you do anything, before you stop texting as much, before you delay your replies, before you create space, you need to get clear on why you're pulling back. Most men skip this step and react emotionally. That's a mistake, because when your actions come from confusion, insecurity, or fear, women can sense it, and it rarely works in your favor. Let's be honest. You're probably thinking about pulling back because something shifted. Maybe she started taking longer to reply. Maybe she doesn't seem as excited to see you anymore. Maybe you used to feel like the prize, and now you feel like you're constantly trying to impress her. That kind of shift can mess with your head, and if you're not careful, it'll lead to overthinking and desperation. Here's what most men do wrong. They either keep trying harder, texting more, asking if she's okay, trying to fix things when nothing is clearly broken. Or they go cold out of nowhere thinking, fine, if she's not giving me attention, I'll just disappear. Both are emotional reactions, and both make you look like you're not in control. The right move starts with asking yourself a simple question. Am I pulling back to punish her? Or am I doing it to protect my energy and restore balance? If it's revenge or frustration, hit the brakes. That mindset will only create drama. But if it's because you feel like you're giving more than you're receiving, and you're starting to feel unappreciated, then yes, pulling back is not just okay, it's necessary. Think about it this way. If you keep showing up 100% for someone who's only giving you 60%, eventually you'll feel drained, bitter, and resentful. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. The pullback isn't about making her chase or playing games. It's about getting back to you, back to the version of yourself that she was drawn to in the first place, the calm, grounded, confident man who didn't need validation. Let's say you've been dating a woman for a couple months. At first she was enthusiastic. She laughed at your jokes, made time to see you, reached out first. Lately, she's become a little distant. Plans are always maybe. Texts feel short. You notice she still posts on social media, but barely replies to yours. You're tempted to bring it up, to ask her what's wrong. But deep down, you already know something's off. In that moment, pulling back doesn't mean you disappear. It means you stop feeding all your time, energy, and attention into a one-sided connection. It means you step back and let her meet you halfway. But first, you've got to get clear on your intention. You're not doing this to manipulate, you're doing it to protect your worth. That clarity is power. And once you understand your why, everything else you do becomes grounded, strong, and impossible to ignore. 2. Stop over-communicating without going silent. One of the biggest traps men fall into when they feel a woman pulling away is trying to talk their way back into her interest. They send long texts, check in too often, ask if everything is okay, or try to keep the vibe alive by always initiating contact. It comes from a good place. You care, you don't want things to fall apart. But it backfires almost every time. Women aren't drawn to words, they respond to energy and presence. And when your energy starts feeling needy, no amount of texting, explaining, or checking in will bring her closer. If anything, it pushes her further away. You don't have to go ghost. You don't have to play the I'm too busy game. But you do need to stop over-communicating when you sense the balance has shifted. Let me give you a real-world example. A guy meets a woman, they go on a few amazing dates, and things feel electric. She texts first, sends good morning messages, checks in during the day, then slowly it fades. She replies hours later. She starts using more emojis and fewer words. Maybe she says she's busy more often. The guy panics, so he starts sending longer messages. He overcompensates, tries to be extra sweet, and starts messaging every morning even if she hasn't replied from the night before. What he doesn't realize is that his behavior is coming from fear, the fear of losing her. And she feels that shift, even if it's subtle. His once grounded masculine presence is now filled with insecurity. That's not attractive. The woman isn't pulling away because he wasn't talking enough. She's pulling away because something in the vibe changed. Now, pulling back doesn't mean you ignore her or become cold. It means you stop trying so hard. If you've been the one texting first every single time, pause. Give her a chance to notice your absence. Let her feel your pullback naturally. That space is where curiosity and attraction grow. This isn't about teaching her a lesson. It's about removing yourself from a pattern that isn't serving you. If you're always there, always available, always texting first, she doesn't feel the need to reach out. But the moment you stop over-communicating, something shifts. She begins to notice the difference. She starts wondering what changed. That's when your absence becomes powerful. It's also about giving yourself the space to see things clearly. When you're always in her messages, always in her world, you don't have the emotional distance to figure out if this connection is even worth your time. Sometimes the pullback helps you more than it helps her. It helps you refocus on your own routine, your priorities, and your purpose. So no, you don't need to cut her off. But you do need to stop forcing conversations, over-explaining yourself, and trying to fix the silence. A confident man doesn't fear a pause. He embraces it, because he knows if she values him, she'll reach back. And if she doesn't, he didn't lose anything worth keeping. 3. Shift your focus back to yourself. This is the part that separates the men who truly pull back with strength from the ones who are just pretending. See, most guys think pulling back just means texting less or acting less available. They might hold back a few messages, delay a response here and there, skip a weekend meetup, but deep down, their mind is still glued to her. They're watching her social media, checking if she's online, wondering if she's noticed their silence, overanalyzing her every move. That's not real distance, that's emotional obsession with a quiet mouth. If you're going to pull back from a woman and do it right, you have to shift the energy away from her and bring it back to you. And I mean fully, not halfway, not with one eye on your phone. Pulling back isn't just about what you stop doing. It's about what you start doing again, for yourself. Let's break this down. In the beginning, when things were going great between you and her, there's a good chance you were focused. You had your routine, you hit the gym regularly, you were out with friends, you had a clear mission, you felt good. That's the energy she was drawn to. That's what made you attractive. Your presence, your momentum, your self-prioritization. But slowly, as the connection deepened, you may have started to shift your attention toward her. You dropped a workout to text back. You skipped that social event to be available for her. You slowed down on your goals because your energy was slowly being consumed by the relationship. This happens to a lot of men, and it happens subtly. You don't realize how far you've drifted from your center until you start to feel her pulling away. Then you panic, and suddenly you realize you've been orbiting her world instead of living in your own. That's why pulling back must include one powerful step, recentering your life. Not to make her jealous, not to prove a point, but because it's necessary for your own identity. Start waking up and doing things just for you again. Recommit to your physical health. Lock back into your personal goals. Pick up the hobbies or projects you might have sidelined. See your friends. Build your world without her in the center of it. Here's a truth that might sting a little. Women can feel when they've become the focus of a man's entire world. At first, it flatters them, but eventually it repels them. Because it feels like pressure. It feels like you're waiting on them to tell you who you are or if you're good enough. But when a man is locked in on his own life, when he's grounded in his direction, when he's genuinely excited about what he's building, she feels that too. And she starts to wonder what's going on with you. She starts to think about the version of you that existed before she was your main priority. That's when the pullback becomes magnetic. Because it's no longer just about what you're not giving her, it's about what you're giving yourself again.